Once all the steps of the assessment-based national dialogue process have been completed and the different scenarios drafted, it's time to focus on how to present them to a government.
So today we are arriving to the last part of the assessment, which is to ensure that the recommendations, our recommendations that are in our assessment report, can be presented to the government and endorsed and lead to some policy decision.
This includes presenting to line ministries and Social Security institutions, discussing with national policymakers, lobbying for the endorsement of social policy options, and the conversion into regulation.
Think about the scenario that you really want to present, to push, and the key arguments that you're going to use.
In this session, participants go through a role-playing activity. They are organized into the same groups as the case study exercise: healthcare, children, working age population, elderly, maternity, and HIV. Members of each group are given a specific role to play, such as someone from the ILO, a ministry and provincial government representative, worker, employer, a civil society member, and so on.
Yes, to convince the government that this is doable, this is affordable. We did the costing.
Each group takes 15 minutes to decide what scenarios they want to present and what key arguments they can use to convince the other stakeholders.
Political argument, we are from the different groups, like from the government, which is from the line ministry, from the international organization, from the CSO, NGO in the country.
We have workers, Ministry of Labor.
Then the group comes to the front of the class and engages in a 15-minute discussion in which they enact a lobbying and endorsement process.
We planned for 3 scenarios for the people of Croatia, and what our fellow colleagues here in this working group will do now is to rationalize with you why we think this is a worthwhile investment to put forward.
But in practice, we need to know how many percentage of the training have been utilized and they are properly utilized, the quality, and also the linkage, the value added that the local economy can contribute it to the nationwide economy. So there will be many assumptions, but here just simplify, we say 1% investment in the training will result in 2% of the GDP index.
It somehow emphasizes how important it is for all these different parts and their views to be included in the process.
It was very interesting because you have to be very informed and you should know that your scheme is doable, not only in terms of financial support, but also in terms of being able to implement it.
You mentioned about the strategy
Through this exercise, participants learn successful ways to pitch their recommendations to the government.